we have Charity King, who has been on an absolute tear at the Texas Contenders Series, going against Rache
The
Chanel.
following contest is scheduled for one fall.
Who is a champion in her own right.
Absolutely. Definitely a tough challenge for both of these women here. As Charity King about to make her way to the ring here.
Introducing first, from Houston, Texas, she is beauty and beast, Charity King!
Ever since she established herself as Charity King, she has had a whole new attitude, a whole new swagger, a whole new way of dominating opponents in the ring. And she might be nice to look at, but if you're looking at her across the ring, it's not a spot you want to be in.
Yeah, listen to this list of victims that have fallen to Charity King in her latest run. Danny B, La Ninja, Maya World, and Killer Kate all have fallen to Charity King here in this winning streak here at Texas Contender Series, but this will definitely be her toughest challenge to date.
And her opponent from New Orleans, Louisiana, La Bougicana, Rache Chanel.
La Fashionista.
Rache Chanel is an absolute treat to watch in the ring. I have been a huge fan of hers for quite some time, and she is definitely going to be one of the toughest challenges for Charity King. Rache Chanel knows she's not the largest women's wrestler, and she's adapted her style. That's how she's been able to get championships all across Texas for the last couple of years. She's a veteran. She knows her strengths. She knows her weaknesses. This is the strength right here. Watch. Look at this balance. Look at this technique. The core strength that you need to pull that off. Go home. If you're sitting at home right now, you're thinking that's easy, go grab a 15-pound handbag and go do that. I bet you can. I bet you can.
The Chanel bag, obviously.
And try to afford one, too.
Yeah, it's not easy to afford one of these in this economy. Inflation's a hell of a thing right now. But regardless, Rache Chanel and Charity King about to go at it here. Obviously, the power advantage will go to King, while the experience will go to Rache Chanel. A former tag team, or a current tag team champion right now is Rache Chanel. And Charity King with a deep background with a host of legends training her in her background as well. Rache Chanel, a 10-year veteran, going against a 2-year competitor in Charity King.
But Charity knows where her money comes from, and it's that power and that strength, and she's immediately going for this Roman knuckle lock out the gate.
Oh. And now look at this, and now very nice, and now playing with the hair of Charity King, and I don't know if that's quite the strategy I would do right away.
I think playing around with Charity. Oh my God!
Good grief! Just flung her like a rag doll. There's Rache Chanel having some trouble here gauging Charity King here in the early going. Trying to figure out, trying to come up with a plan here on the powerhouse. And Dan, you've been around here in the Contender Series longer than I have. What have you seen in the changes of Charity King since the new attitude? What has changed in this one?
Well, she came back from some brutal knee surgery. We got a pinfall attempt right here.
Oh, a kick out.
Getting a 2 count. She came back from a pretty bad knee tear. And she looked at herself in the mirror and says, I got all this power, I got all this grit, I got all this swagger, and I'm just gonna use it right now. I'm not gonna listen to anybody else. I know how to get to the top. And that's what you got to do in this line of work. You got to listen to yourself. There's going to be people in your ear all the time telling you what you should do, how you should act, where you should go, where you shouldn't go. And she says, no, I'm old enough, I'm strong enough, I got here on my own, and I'm going to take it to the top on my own. And that's her change in attitude.
Both women showing their moments here in the early going. Chanel with a few takedowns as King, countered. And look at this power, but look at the athleticism, and head scissors takedown takes down King. As Rache Chanel, last time New Texas fans have seen her, where she got a pinfall win over Amir over at Fistful of Dollars over at the Campbell Hall in Pasadena.
That's right. And she tried this tactic as well.
She did, and now gonna perhaps give Charity King a bit of a makeover.
She calls it the comb treatment, Nick, and it's painful.
I wouldn't want to get hit with that thing, and even the referee gets a little free. Oh my goodness, it's stuck in his hair.
Not surprised, got all those knots in there.
Yeah, that's a pretty good comb. You might want to keep that one. And now, what we got here? What is that? Interesting. Takedown there. Here's a cover. And a kick out at 2 by Charity King. As Rache Chanel obviously in control here in the early going here. Over Charity King. We are live here on IWTV. Follow us at Texas Contender Series on Twitter and Instagram. And this power by Charity King into the side slam. Getting the approval of the crowd, and a kick out at 2 from Rache Chanel. Chanel right now having trouble figuring out how to negate this ungodly power that Charity King possesses. And now, hey, ref, was over her face for a minute. And Charity King right now is all over Rache Chanel. Not much offense coming from her side. Oh my goodness. She can throw those hands. All right, now Chanel in a lot of trouble. It's going to be hard to get this locomotive stopped. As the knee in the back choking the life out of Rache Chanel, much to the dismay of this crowd.
And this has been the playbook of Charity King for the last few months.
Oh,
beautiful fisherman suplex.
Absolutely, here's a cover, hooks both legs, and a kick out at 2. And Charity King almost with one of the biggest wins of her career.
Not a lot of power lifters in the women's division.
Absolutely, and you think of the power lifters who transitioned to wrestling. You think of Jordan Grace, you think of Chyna, you think of a lot of women in that category. Go on to great. There's a lot of great crossover between the two, and Charity King really seems like she is really starting to find her groove, really find her mojo here in the last couple of weeks. As a side headlock.
And you got to wonder how many of the competitors in the women's division choose to train to try to compete against a power lifter. Like I was saying before, not many.
Wow, just caught her in midair.
How do you fight back against this?
Oh my goodness. As you said, I don't think there's too many people that Rache Chanel usually fights that can just carry her like Charity King just did. Catch a full-grown person in midair, but that senton drop just was not did not land there.
Rache needs to use her wit and her cunning right now, because that is the only advantage she might have against Charity King.
Chanel's trying to start a rally here with a foot to the face and a back elbow, and Chanel with a drop kick sends the powerhouse down. And perhaps Chanel's starting to get a little rhythm here. DDT!
Beautiful. She's got to keep it at this volume. She's got to turn up. She's got to go for that pin.
Well, slight hesitation, though, and that may have cost her.
That deep, deep pin wasn't good enough.
All that wear and tear from that offense from Charity King took its toll there as Chanel was a little late getting into that pinfall attempt, perhaps costing her this match. As King just continues to bulldoze right over through Chanel. Oh, into the turnbuckle. To no avail. Into the second.
And the thing about Charity King is, though, she could take punishment. She could come back from being brutalized like that.
Now Chanel plays director, telling the cameraman to get out of her way because she's got a face wash. Rearranging the facial features of Charity King with that one. Cover, hooks the leg, and a kick out at 2. Man, that was close. And perhaps Chanel is feeling it here and feeling that one more big move could be it. Oh. And now what's this? King now. Oh, man. I don't think this is a bright idea. What do you think, Dan? You're not supposed to be looking.
She wants to check her makeup.
Well, I don't think you're supposed to rummage through a woman's bag. That's like a cardinal sin, isn't it?
Don't ask me.
And now,
What are you asking me for? You think I go through people's purses and steal stuff?
Well, I don't know.
How dare you?
And now what is the King's got that hairspray, it looks like. Oh, come on. Now that's low.
She was helping her out.
And there, oh my goodness. The King's kiss. Cover. And what a win by hook or crook. Charity King with a huge victory.
Charity King.
Using her own tricks against her.
Well, there you go. I'm sure you approve of those tactics.
Absolutely. Someone comes out with contraband to the ring. That's free for you, too. Rache Chanel didn't have carte blanche to use whatever she wanted out of that bag. She brought it to the ring. She had to deal with the consequences thought of by Charity King.
Well, definitely played to her demise as Charity King comes up with a huge victory here tonight.